In this installment, we're going to be breaking down another historic matchup between Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. We got the Kansas City Chiefs going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Sunday Night Football. This is the Showdown Slate Breakdown. Let's get into it. Hey, yo! Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to give you the winning ingredients for your Sunday Night Football matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But before I deep dive into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter and MessageSD. Don't forget about the TikTok at Chef_D91, and don't forget about the Patreon if you want more DFS, betting, and fantasy football advice. All of those links will be provided down below. One more thing before we get into the slate, we have to go over the injury report on the Kansas City Chiefs side. It's pretty clear and cut. Harrison Butker is going to be out. They did bring up Matthew Wright. He is going to be the kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs, and most likely he's not going to be utilized. They're probably going to go for it on 2-point conversions and avoid the kicking game like they have done in previous weeks. On the Tampa Bay Buccaneers side, Chris Godwin is considered optimistic. We want to stay away from him. We just saw him a few weeks ago get injured in the game. This man needs to be saved and put along to the side for the playoff push. So I don't know why they keep trying to rush him back. And if he even plays tonight on Sunday, it's probably going to be on a limited basis. So I would stay away from Chris Godwin in this scenario. Julio Jones is expected to test the injury during pregame, but he's expected to play. We see them being utilized in week 1. So if he's on track to play, you could consider him, but he's going to be one of the more lower value targets because they have reinforcements for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and that's Mike Evans. Mike Evans is back from his suspension, and that's what we're going to start off with the captain position. All right, we're going to go all the way straight to one of my favorite captains. That's going to be Mike Evans. Mike Evans is the #1 red zone target for this team in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm telling you, Tom Brady is happy to have Mike Evans back after what happened in the previous week going up against the Packers. It was horrible. As you can see, they didn't put up many points. They didn't put up 12 points. And Tom Brady had to rely on Russell Gage, Cameron Brate, Rashad Perriman, Fournette, Jalen Darden, Kyle Rudolph, Scotty Miller, and Cole Beasley. Okay, so all those myriad of pass catching options, that's all he had left. All right, so Mike Evans will be a sight for sore eyes. Expect him to be targeted highly in this game. Patrick Mahomes, we can consider him as a captain, but I might want to stay away. I don't think this is going to be a high-scoring environment. Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense across the board is top 5 in almost every category. The only category that's a little bit questionable is against wide receivers. As you can see, if we flip that around, we're looking at Tampa Bay Buccaneers against wide receivers. They're more of a bend, don't break mentality. They're giving up yardage and just a little bit of touchdowns there. But it's the yardage that's one of more question marks that they're giving up. But Patrick Mahomes, I want to put him on the back burner. As a captain, I seek more using him or utilizing him in the flex position for this particular slate. One of the weaknesses for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, despite the fact they are strong against the run, against quarterbacks, bend don't break against wide receivers, they give up tons of points to the tight end position. Travis Kelce is going to have a mismatch against any safety, any linebacker, any corner that they put against him. So expect Travis Kelce to have a bounce back game for what he did last week, which was 17 fantasy points. That is not the norm. We're expecting 20 plus from Travis Kelce. He's been average the last 2 weeks, as you can say. Week 1 was what we're expecting from Travis Kelce. I expect him to get back to normal in this matchup against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All right. Another captain play we can look at will be Leonard Fournette. Leonard Fournette is getting a ton of usage, all right? Unless this man is injured, that's the only way you're going to see Rachaad White. But if Fournette is healthy, he's going to get the bulk of the carries, as you can see, and he's going to get the receiving work. In week 3, 12 for 35, so poor rushing performance, but he still received 5 receptions, 6 targets, 35 yards. So he still got you there despite the fact that he struggled rushing the football. So I love the volume from Leonard Fournette. He's going to be a high value play at that captain position. Someone else we can focus in on as well Can we go with Tom Brady? I would stay away from him as well as the captain. He's going to be more of a flex, as you can see. Struggling mightily. This is not the Tom Brady of last year where he was getting 20 plus fantasy points. He's looking like his age right now. Even in the picture, I can see the bags in his eyes. So Tom Brady, we're going to stay away from him and get more creative at that captain position. But I'm just making sure we go down the list. Juju Smith-Schuster is going to be that next wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs that's getting a ton of targets, a ton of usage. As you can see, 8 targets in week 1, 8 targets in week 3, 89 yards and 79 yards. He has not gotten into the end zone yet. That can happen this week going up against Tampa Bay Buccaneers as he works through the slot position on this defense. He can take advantage of Sean Murphy bunting. So I like Juju Smith-Schuster as a cheaper captain play in our lineups. All right, if we continue to go down, the rest of these guys are going to be flex options. So this is the end of the captains. Let's move over to the flex. I'm going to clear these guys out. The next wave of guys we're going to focus in on for the flex position. First, it's going to be, you got to pick between these two. All right, I want to stay away from Clyde Edwards-Helaire. All right, this is not a good matchup for Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He's going to have to make it work in the receiving game. He's been getting lucky with touchdowns, as you can see. Touchdown against the Colts and 2 touchdowns against Arizona. Other than that, he has not been efficient. 7 carries for 0 yards last week. This man continues to be a failure. So you're lucky to get this production the first 3 weeks. I do not expect that in this particular game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I have another option at the running back position if you want to go with a KC running back. Someone that's getting more usage than Clyde Edwards-Helaire. We'll get to him very soon. Someone that I like more at the flex position will be Russell Gage. All right, Mike Evans is the outside guy. Russell Gage is going to work in that slot for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And look what he did. Yes, this is without Mike Evans. He received 12 receptions, 13 targets, 87 yards, and 1 TD. A nice game of 25 fantasy points. So I love Russell Gage at 6,200 as a flex. We know he's going to get usage because there's still a lot of question marks around Tampa Bay with Julio Jones and Chris Godwin, which I already spoke about. Julio Jones is right here. We're going to stay away from him. We need clarity, all right? Find out more news before the game starts. Let's continue to go down and find some more gems. MVS is worth a punt play. He can definitely be worth his salary off one deep ball and he gets into the end zone. It's not that likely, but it is possible. And he is starting in wide receiver 2 sets for this particular team. So it's Juju, MVS. They're getting the bulk of the snaps. So as long as he's getting an opportunity, there is some upside for MVS. Other guys we can look at is going to be Jerick McKinnon for KC. This is one I told you, the guy that's getting the bulk of the carries, being utilized in 2-minute drill scenarios as well. And he was a trusted running back in the playoff push last year for the Kansas City Chiefs. I wouldn't be surprised by midseason Jerick McKinnon becomes the number 1 running back for this offense. So in this game, I expect some solid numbers from him. He's definitely going to get utilized. He's getting a ton of snaps. It's Jerick McKinnon, it's Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and that's pretty much it. They have not been playing Isaiah Pacheco. Pacheco has been more of a special teamer. So Jerick McKinnon at that salary of $4,600 can be a sneaky play. Now, I have some gems down here. If we continue to go down, I think Cameron Brate, who has a great connection with Tom Brady. He's been with the Buccaneers for a myriad of years. Came through with 10 fantasy points against Green Bay Packers. And we know Cameron Brate's upside in the red zone. So we've seen in previous years when it was Brate and O.J. Howard, Brate was the guy in the red zone. I love him at 3,600. I think he's going to be one of my favorite cheap flex plays in this slate on Sunday. I think he's going to be a lock just to give you a solid salary. And he's going to give you solid production in this particular game. So as you can see, Harrison Butker is out. Kicker for the Chiefs. We're going to stay away from the Chiefs kicker here. And this is the guy who they replace him with, and Matthew Wright. They elevated him. I have no idea. We're going to stay away from that. All right. That's what we're going to do. If we're going to choose a defense, 100%, I'm taking the Buccaneers defense. I like what they're doing the last 3 weeks. Look at these fantasy points: 13 against Dallas, 26 against the Saints. Struggled against Green Bay, but they still got an interception. They got a sack. So definitely some positives from that area, and they kept it to only 14 points. This defense has been playing outstanding. Patrick Mahomes, we've seen the argument with Eric Bieniemy, his offensive coordinator. They have new weapons. There's a lot of things are going a little quirky for the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buccaneers, and that defense, who is a well-oiled machine. They know what they're doing. It's the same guys back there. They can take advantage of Patrick Mahomes in this situation, especially in a home game. So I like a stack if we can do a Leonard Fournette Buccaneers defense. You can throw in Cameron Brate. If you want to do a 4-1 type of lineup build, I have no problem with that. I mean, a 4-2 or a 5-1 lineup build, I have no problem with that. If we're looking cheaper than the Buccaneers defense, I have no problem going Ryan Suckup. That's number one. And anyone below that, they have been playing Kyle Rudolph some. He's the tight end number 2. If he's able to get in a touchdown in the red zone, that wouldn't surprise me. And other than that, we're going to stay away from everyone else down below. So definitely I would lean more to the focus of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and stack them up because they have a very strong defense going up against Kansas City Chiefs. Guys I like bringing it back with on the Kansas City Chiefs is definitely going to be Juju Smith-Schuster, Travis Kelce, all right? So I think you guys are going to be fine. Here are going to be the mainstays for majority of our lineups, all right? Kelce, number 1. Mike Evans, number 2. And I want the usage of Leonard Fournette. So try and build your lineups around these 3 core guys: Kelce, Mike Evans, Leonard Fournette. If Kelce's too expensive for you, then go with Juju Smith-Schuster. All right. So thank you guys for tuning in. I'll be back very, very soon with another video. Hey guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe too. Peace out.